You know, I think that there's some similarities between Baroque music and Bach's music with jazz. The walking bass line, the figured bass, which sort of outlines chords but allows the keyboard player to fill in the harmony the way they want to do that. Even the chord progressions that sort of move through all these different keys. But I think it's also that you can, and this has been done by many musicians, you can take Bach's music and quote-unquote jazz it up, you know, give it sort of a swing feel, and it works. So in the sense that it's highly rhythmic music with very strong bass lines, it has a lot to do with, let's say, how bebop musicians think, and the whole way that he outlines harmony with his lines. It's very reminiscent of jazz, so I think there's sort of that natural connection. Well, when I remember reading the Bach Reader and accounts of Bach being able to take themes and then just spin out these improvisations with fugues, double fugues, very complicated contrapuntal games. I mean, obviously, that was his genius, that he was able to do this. And I would say also in general that in a lot of classical music, a lot of the composers were expected to be performers and were expected to be improvisers and were expected to be able to do all these things. In a way, that tradition has been lost, or maybe it's atrophied in a certain way in classical music, where the performers basically play the notes. They're expressively, of course, but they're not expected to be able to have that instant command of instant composition. And again, as a jazz musician, that's something that's very attractive about Bach, because it shows, first of all, a certain level of musicianship, and second of all, that improvisatory feeling that really exists in a lot of Bach's music really gives it a vibrant energy, and that distinguishes it from other Baroque music of its time, and you know, is something that you can constantly go back to in Bach. When I study Well-Tempered Clavier and the Goldberg variations and so many of his cantatas, the chromaticism, the incredible command of the counterpoint, it's such a strong thing. And there's also a natural exuberance in the music because of the rhythmic intensity, the propulsion in the music, and when it's played well, you really get a sense of that ecstasy that's coming from his music. It's really, I'm coming from the point of view of an improvising musician who also loves Bach, a jazz musician who also loves Bach, and is saying that the people that purport to defend Bach as the, you know, establishment of music and upholding the standards are not the only people that have the final say about how to play this music. And, you know, if you love something and you study it and you bring to it like a seriousness of purpose, but also a sense of fun, a sense of the joy of playing music in a way that's real. It's not something that's heavy-handed, but something that's natural. You know, maybe you can bring a different point of view to how you're playing. For me, it's totally selfish. I just love playing the music,